There was something not right. He seemed to be enjoying it a little bit too much. And the fame that was global seemed to go to his head. But it was truly global fame.
Governor Cuomo out there day after day after day, everything Trump isn't. Honest, direct, brave.
It's the way that Andrew came in and just felt like a hero to us all.
This has been a remarkable show of leadership by Governor Cuomo in recent days.
Move over, LGBTs. There's a new identity in town. Cuomo-sexual, a new term for Empire State Governor Andrew Cuomo, America's favorite fella.
So Andrew Cuomo, I think, is almost the president of New York in this circumstance.
I heard, though, that you had a crush on our boyfriend, Andrew Cuomo.
Dude, everyone does, right? I think he's fantastic.
People online are falling in love with him. And I'm not going to lie, those people include me. My Tinder profile now lists me as a Cuomo-sexual.
So the fake news, the intellectual, the entertainment world, they're always focused on style over substance, and that's what they were all swept away with. But boy, oh boy, were they. There was a time, people forget now, that there was a serious effort to make Cuomo the Democrat nominee even after Joe Biden had it all locked up. You remember Joe was, well, he still is frail. He was frail back then. People wondered, could he go the distance? This speculation about removing Joe Biden and replacing him with Andrew Cuomo was very real.
We have a person who is very capable, a very capable backup, if you will, not vice president, but if something would change.
He could walk into that convention and walk out as the Democratic nominee.
People could now start over and make a decision on who they'd want as the Democratic nominee. And this is no shade on Joe Biden, but you know who I think they'd pick? I think you know who I think.
Andrew Cuomo.
Yeah.
Andrew Cuomo loved the talk. He was encouraging it. You know who didn't love the talk and knew all about it? Joe Biden. Friction between the two camps. Undeniably, there was friction. There had to be. So you saw how the fake news in the world was treating Andrew Cuomo. Back then, here's a portion of what I had to say about Andrew Cuomo. A lot of folks believe that Governor Cuomo's decisions led to thousands upon thousands of deaths. And you can see his arrogance and his refusal to accept responsibility. He might get fired. There is a serious effort to impeach Governor Cuomo. He's got all kinds of problems. While they were enjoying the Cuomo sexual movement, whatever it was, I was talking about the nursing home deaths. And not a lot of people, I was actually mistaken there. Some of us were. Some of us were really concerned about what was really happening. We weren't dazzled by everything else. We were stumped when he sent away that Comfort, the USS Comfort, the hospital ship that came, that was dispatched by President Trump, and he sent it away essentially unutilized. We were totally amazed and baffled and insulted when he got $5 million for that book in the middle of the pandemic. Who writes a book? Who has the time to write a book in the middle of the pandemic? And we still have lots of real questions about that nursing home situation. How many died as a result of decisions that he may have made? We don't know the full scope yet, but we raised the questions and we still haven't gotten the answers. How about this? Who gets a tan? Who gets a tan in the middle of a pandemic, all right? He seemed to be enjoying the whole damn thing a little bit too much. While we were locked down, he was literally going fishing. He was having the time of his life. And it just didn't feel right. And even long before this, and I've crossed paths with him, he could be a charming guy in person, but he was always chasing the approval of some group, something, and he would say some pretty stupid things like this.
We're not going to make America great again. It was never that great.
So, I wasn't impressed, but I'm also not impressed with this case of sexual harassment that they're trying to wage right now. There are so many holes in it, so many problems in it. This is the same country, the same media elite that explained away and made excuses and said it was no big deal. Monica and Bill Clinton, the stuff they did right there in the Oval Office, right? making all kinds of excuses. They looked down on anyone who raised concerns about the morality of it all. So fast forward, whatever it's been, 24 years, we've gone from you know what in the Oval Office to this. I'm about to play you actual evidence that was presented by the Attorney General, evidence of, well, you tell me, this is a politician's idea of an obscene phone call? No.
Hello?
Hi, Governor.
Yeah.
This is Charlotte.
Okay. Are you ready?
I am ready.
You don't know that song?
No,
Before your time.
it's before my time, but I appreciated the singing.
Do you love me? Do you really love me? Do you love me? Do you care?
I'll have to listen now.
Yeah. It's like the 50s. It's before even my time.
Oh, there you go. Now I have less of an excuse.
You ready?
Yes.
John F. Kennedy was having orgies in the White House swimming pool, and we still have airports and schools named after him. What do you make of that? I mean, it may be silly, may not be appropriate, certainly not ideal, but so what? So what? Not very long ago, Harvey Weinstein was a guest of honor at the White House, in the Obama White House. There he is, going to all the right parties, meeting all the right people. All the while, everybody knew about this guy, apparently, in those circles. Here he is with Oprah. I mean, this guy, everybody hung out with him. But apparently, everybody knew. I'll get to that in a second. Did you know that Barack Obama's daughter, Malia, could have interned anywhere in the world? The United Nations, the World Bank, she chose Harvey Weinstein's company just a few months before he was Me Too'd. But everybody, apparently, in those elite circles knew that Harvey was a pig. Let's go to the Academy Awards. This is almost 8 years ago.
The 2012 nominees for Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role are... Congratulations, you five ladies no longer have to pretend to be attracted to Harvey Weinstein.
Everybody seemed to be in on the joke. Everybody. Emma Stone, that's Seth MacFarlane, the Family guy. Everything's backwards. Everything's weird. We're not being told the whole story, what's really going on. How is it that Joe Biden is president? Joe Biden is president. Andrew Cuomo is the predator. This is actually evidence as well. Joe Biden is the president. Let me see again. And Andrew Cuomo is the predator. One of the accusers. Joe Biden is the president. And Andrew Cuomo is the and Andrew Cuomo's in trouble. Maybe Letitia James is taking this mentality a little bit too far. Letitia James, the Attorney General, celebrated woman of color. No one's going to criticize her. And when you say things like this, it's, oh, so righteous, isn't it?
These 11 women were in a hostile and toxic work environment, and that we should believe women.
How about believing evidence? This was a very, very strange report. Alan Dershowitz, world-class Harvard professor, will be joining us in a little bit to break it down. But if we're going to believe women, what about this woman, Tara Reid? You may or may not be familiar with her, but she made very credible allegations against President Biden. President Biden. Listen.
It happened very quickly. I remember being pushed up against the wall. He had his hands underneath my clothes, and it happened all at once. So he had one hand underneath my shirt, and the other hand, I had a skirt on, and he like went down my skirt and then went up. And I remember I was up almost on my tippy toes. And when he went inside the skirt, he was talking to me at the same time, and he was leaning into me. And I pulled this way away from his head, I remember. And so he was kissing my neck area, and he whispered, "Did I want to go somewhere else?" in a low voice. He said, "I want to fuck you." And he said it low, and I was pushing away. And I remember my knee hurting because our knees, he had opened my legs with his knee, and our knees caps clashed. So I felt like this sharp pain. His fingers were inside of my private area, my vagina, and it wasn't, there was no small talk, there was no like precept, it was just sudden, and it was happening like that.
Wow. You probably haven't heard those allegations. Maybe you have, but they were essentially buried by the fake news because they were protecting Joe Biden, who the fake news reluctantly brought these matters to his attention after ignoring them for months. Here's Joe.
Would you please go on the record with the American people? Did you sexually assault Tara Reid?
No, it is not true. I'm saying unequivocally, it never happened. And it didn't. It never happened.
Do you remember her? Do you remember any types of complaints that she might have made?
I don't remember any type of complaint she may have made. It was 27 years ago. And I don't remember, nor does anyone else that I'm aware of. And the fact is that I don't remember. I don't remember any complaint ever having been made.
Well, we have his denial, but what about the Attorney General's report? What about the investigation? Where's that? Maybe we should have that, right? Doesn't it make sense? It stands to reason. Something is not right here. Something is totally not right. Look, Andrew Cuomo is a lot of things. Not a fan. He made a lot of mistakes, but he's no predator. He's no predator. They're trying to make him out to be one. I'm not sure why. We're going to go through the complaint again with the world-class professor from Harvard, Alan Dershowitz. He's going to tell you some things that the fake news refuses to acknowledge. We'll be right back.